Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sleep But I'm Dead book discussion for The Ghostwriter by Julie Clark. Sorry about the technical issues. I had those last night when I was trying to do public reading sprints. I think it's StreamYard is having issues because, I was having issues just talking to Jules
Yeah.
backstage.
I was like, you're frozen. You're really frozen.
So I was just like, let me just do StreamYard. That's the only, or not StreamYard, Restream. So that's where I'm at. So welcome. So happy that we are finally discussing The Ghostwriter. Let me know in the comments that you're here and what you rated the book. We're going to save our ratings towards the very end. But if people don't know who Jules is, for one, that's a crime. But Jules, who are you? What's your channel? What do you like to read?
My name is Jules. My channel is Jules Books and Things. I read everything, mostly thrillers, cozy mysteries. I do like spooky middle grade, like some fantasy, rom-coms. I don't really do historical fiction or things like that, but pretty much everything. I like horror, so like cozy mysteries, horrors. Like I have a wide variety of books that I read. So.
Yeah, I feel like Jules is like the horror queen, in my
I do,
opinion. Well,
I do this
I know
horror.
there's a lot of horror readers out there, but I don't know why, but I connect with Jules a little bit more in the horror section.
Like I live for I love scary movies. They're like my jam. I love slashers. I love anything horror,
Yeah,
but yeah, I love it all.
awesome. Well, Jules was actually the Sleep When I'm Dead book club, or one of the book club hosts in January. Originally, we were going to have Maddie here, but unfortunately, some you know personal things happened, and so Jules was like, "I'll do it." I was like, "Okay, cool."
I'm always down.
Yeah, so excited that she was able to jump in. But yeah, let us know what you plan or what you look at me. I was gonna say,
We're
what do
not
you?
reading. No, we're not reading tonight.
Let us know what you rated this book, or if you haven't finished it. We are talking for full spoilers, so if you have not finished it,
Yeah.
feel free to stay if you want to be spoiled. But we will be, talking spoilers and stuff like that. So, let's see. We'll start. Jules, do you want to give us a short synopsis about what this book is?
Yes. Give me 2 seconds to remember their names. What? Because I really forgot what their names were.
Oh,
Olivia. That's what it was. Okay.
yeah.
I remember the siblings. So basically, we're following an author who's struggling financially, and she gets the opportunity to ghostwrite a book for her father, who happens to be a surviving sibling of like some murders that happened in the mid 70s. And she thinks she's because he's also an author, and he writes. Does he write like I don't remember what kind of is it crime books or horror books? I feel like it's some type of like scary book. I don't know if it says that, but yeah. And so she thinks she's going to be writing ghostwriting his last book, and it ends up he wants to do like a memoir, telling a tell-all story about what really happened the night that his siblings died. So she's now writing a book for him.
Yeah.
To find out what happened. Yeah.
Perfect.
The gist of it.
Yeah. I think that's all you really need to know going into it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think that's what the synopsis in the book says. So I feel like that's all you really need to know.
Yeah.
But let's see. Brandon says hello again. I rated this one 4 stars. Haven't read it yet. Can't wait to hear all the spoilers. What the heck happened on sprints last night? Yeah.
Technical issues.
Beats me. Hi everyone. I rated this one 5 stars. Let's see. Go check out Jules. She's amazing. Yes, I do have her channel linked down below as well. So
I finally hit 1K. Did you see that?
I know. I saw that. So when I was gonna self plug your book shopping challenge for your birthday.
Oh yeah.
And when I went to go watch it, I was like, oh, Jules hit 1,000 subscribers. So
yeah. Woo, do your little That's so funny.
If you are listening with headphones, I sincerely apologize.
She is sorry.
Sorry, but I'm not sorry. Angel says, hi, rated this one 5 stars. That's awesome.
Nice.
Oh, wait, I think I've already read that one, but still 5 stars.
Read
Amy gave it 4. Let's see. I'm not far enough in it to rate it yet, but so far it's good and intriguing. And then
Right.
Helen also gave it 4 stars. Awesome. Well, if you could describe this book only using 3 words, how would you describe it, Jules? And everyone else, leave your 3 words down below.
Okay, so my 3 words are desperate, memories, and
Ooh.
dysfunction.
Those are so good. Okay, so
Yeah.
when I was coming up with my 3 words, I was like, I don't want to say mysterious.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, it's a mystery thriller. So I
Yeah.
was really struggling, but I put slow burn,
Mhm.
nostalgic, and secretive.
Yeah.
So I thought those were.
Yeah, those are good.
And I was talking to Jules before, like, all the technical difficulties, but I was like, it's so weird to say nostalgic because, like, I didn't grow up in the 70s, but it had a very nostalgic feel in those chapters.
It
So,
did in the chapters where she found like the journal and stuff. It did seem like that because like they're just out walking around wherever at all kinds of times of night and like don't care. You know what I mean? Like it did feel like that very much. So
exactly. I mean, I never hitchhiked with
yeah,
people,
no.
but like Poppy was
Either.
like wandering off with random people, and I'm like, oh, could
Yeah.
never in this time of day.
No.
Hello, rated 4 stars, probably closer to 3.5.
Mhm.
And then Brandon says ambiguous, family, and secrets. Good words.
Yeah.
Have you read anything by this author before?
I have not.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't.
What's it
Yeah,
back?
so tell me which ones I should. Have you read from
I have read. Okay. Oh, I didn't know she had another. Okay, I've read the lies I believe I read the lies I tell. So
I feel like that's one that was on my radar to read and I just haven't yet.
yeah, I think also Lena really liked that one, but I had a Goodreads, and when I mean I had a Goodreads, I had this thing back in like 2011. That's how old this thing was.
Oh dang.
And it would like always give me the worst recommendations because, like, I was in my 50 Shades of Grey era back in the day. So, like, I don't want to read that stuff anymore. So I ended up deleting that Goodreads account and I ended up starting a new one. But I believe I read The Lies I Tell because I remember getting it from Book of the Month, but I couldn't tell you anything
Yes.
about it.
I do remember that being a book of the month one.
Yeah. Actually, that and The Last Flight are both Book of the Month copies. I did like The Last Flight. I think I gave that 3, maybe 4 stars. Again, on my super old, non-existent Goodreads. So
Corinna gave that one 4 stars.
yeah,
A lot of people really like that one. April gave that one 4 stars. Liv did.
Yeah. I think that one has like the con artist type of deal, and someone else is going after that con artist thing. I don't know.
I'll have to check that one out.
Yeah. I mean, I think, no, I'm not going to say. I'll say that towards the end. I was going to give you like a ranking of the ones I've read.
The Lies I Tell has good ratings too.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Okay.
Let's see. It's so weird because like new comments come at the top on the screen,
Yeah.
the side it's at the bottom. So Brandon said first time reading from her. I would definitely check out more from her. And this is also all right. This is the first I've ever heard of her. The synopsis of The Lies I Tell gives me first line win vibes. Yes, I would. That's probably a good, like, accurate comparison.
And I liked that. So
I've read all her books, and this was my favorite. Okay, spoiler: this one is also my favorite out of the 3. But
nice.
Okay. Next, a lot of these questions were either submitted over on Discord or they were in the back of the book because at least the Book of the Month copy has a reader's guide, so that's where I got a lot of the questions from. But the first one says. The story is told in both present and past timelines, flashbacks to the 1975. Do you think the author did enough with the past chapters to make you feel as the reader as if you were in 1975?
Yeah, I said I don't know that I really felt like I it was in 1975. I don't know that there's anything specific that was like, oh, that's in the 70s. You know what I mean? Like, but also I only lived for 4 years in the 70s. So, um, but like, I don't know. I feel like you said, it still had that kind of nostalgia vibe just because of the way that it represented like the kids being out and like
Mm-hmm.
walking home or walking to their friends or going across the street to their teachers, or their teacher was, the party guy or whatever. You know what I mean? Like getting up to shenanigans that their parents had no idea where they're at because they're either always working or doing whatever, like I feel like it felt like that, but I don't know specifically about it being like the 70s, you know.
Yeah. I think it did enough where it wasn't like too much, but
Mhm.
also I feel like it did enough to where I didn't forget. They were like, I remember, I think like the first, maybe the second flashback, Vincent's talking about they were going to a concert. I think it was like Leonard Skinner or something like that. I was like, oh,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
And like, I
Yeah.
feel like just them having to walk everywhere, or like, they
You
could go.
definitely knew it was like old school timeline.
I mean,
Yeah.
they didn't talk about like, going to like payphones or something like. I don't even know if payphones were a thing back in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, they were.
They were okay.
We had them down at our Quick Trip, our little gas station.
Well,
We had payphones.
I mean, even when I like was growing up, I never really saw payphones either. So I don't know when
Girl,
they like,
girl, I
stopped.
used payphones.
Yeah,
Yeah, they probably before. I'm trying to think. So I got my husband had a pager when we were dating.
I remember pagers.
Yeah, so they were still around then because I remember being out with some friends. I was like, oh, I got to stop and use the phone,
Hmm.
like call somebody or whatever. I remember that. And like, or he would go to a payphone, you like to, call or whatever. But I didn't have my first, like, I had my first like car phone. It was like a prepaid cell phone type thing when I
Yeah.
was probably like 22. So night like late 90s.
Mm.
So I'm sure they still had the payphones around, but I don't think people were really using them in like early 2000s. They were probably starting to not
Yeah.
be used. But I definitely had those. You had to carry your quarters around. Too funny.
Let's see. Amy said slow, murky, and freeing.
Okay.
Okay. Angel said, I love the last flight and still need to read The Lies I Tell. Brandon says, I've been loving the reader's guide in the back of books lately. Me too. Makes my live shows and
Yes.
easier.
Yeah.
I have not read from her. The Lies I Tell is better than First Light Wins. I liked both books. Interesting. Lena, hi, I'm in Texas working in a conference, but I'm here for a bit and I'll watch the recording back. But I gave this baby 5 freaking stars. Lena, is this your first 5-star Sleep When I'm Dead pick? I have to know. I think it is.
Seems like it is.
Like, I think after hearing her talk about the last guests at the wedding, like I know she really liked it. And I was like, I can kind of see like liking this one.
Yeah.
Amy says, I felt it did have the 70s vibes. Gwen's on her way home from book club.
Nice.
Payphones were definitely a big thing back in my day. Payphones were a thing. I remember always checking
The
the
coin return.
okay, when I did see one, I would
I
also.
always see if there's anything in it. Yeah.
Yes, payphones were always calling collect or letting it ring 3 times and hang it up so mom knew to come pick me up.
Yeah.
We were running amok in the 70s and 80s, no
Mhm.
vision. So I got that
Yeah.
vibe. Nice. I like
Yeah.
the subtle 70 vibes. It wasn't overkill like some books.
Yeah. Where they have to like throw out every single
Yeah,
thing to make you know that that's the year or whatever. Yeah.
exactly. Okay, moving on. Would you ever want to be a ghostwriter, doing the work in the background, but never getting acknowledged? Or do you prefer to be the star?
Yeah. I don't necessarily think I would want to be a star. I would not want to be a big author like Abby Jimenez or whoever. Like that would just be too much for me. I don't like people that much. But like if I'm going to write a good book, I want to get credit for it. Like I don't want to
Right,
write something for somebody that and not nobody knows who I am. Mm-mm,
right.
that's not going to happen.
Exactly. one of my like I feel so cheesy saying it, but like I've always had a dream of like writing a book. And like I'm not going to do the work and have someone else's name.
Right?
The only
I
other
wouldn't
name
want to
would
take that. Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to publish a book under my name knowing dang well I didn't read it or I didn't write it. You know what I mean? Like
or have like
about it.
this book by Jesse Stump with James Patterson or something. Like I don't want like no,
Yeah.
no thank you.
Right.
Brandon says, nah, give me all the recognition. I've
Yeah.
been approached a few times for ghostwriting jobs, but have always been too busy with other projects. Interesting.
Interesting. Yeah. That's
I want
crazy.
credit. I was the person in the group projects.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. In the story, we find out that Olivia's father has Lewy body. Was this hard to read about, or did you learn anything from this? I felt bad.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. No. Well, I actually didn't know about, you know what I mean? Like I think I like kind of heard about it, but like really had
Yeah,
forgotten
I
about it. So I didn't really know anything about it. So, but obviously with my mom having Alzheimer's, it's some of the parts where he was thinking that she was somebody else, like her mom or whatever, and she would get hurt like by that. I was like, so those kind of parts were just kind of hard because like not for me because she still knows who I am, but like my daughter, she doesn't know who my daughter is anymore, and so it's just kind of and so seeing her like that sometimes when Haley goes up there, she doesn't know anybody else but me. Like she recognizes their faces, but she can't put a name to anybody's face except for mine. But I also don't know that if that's just because my name is like burned in her brain that's the only, you know what I mean? She literally says my name probably 1,000 times a day. So she calls everybody Julie. But so I mean, so that just kind of like I like had deep hurt for her in the book when
yeah.
he would just all of a sudden be like go off on her thinking she's his wife or at the time her mom, and it
Mhm.
wasn't. I was like, dang, that would suck. you
Yeah.
know yeah.
I, I had my grandfather. I mean, he died when I was pretty young still. I think I was around 10. But I mean, he had like Alzheimer's, dementia. But had never heard of Lewy body. So I did
Yeah,
learn a little bit about that. So I thought that was interesting. But then when I got to that, I was like, oh my gosh, I made Jules read this book.
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you're like, I'm sure you probably felt bad, but no. But yeah, I didn't. That would be awful. Like, first of all, to like have Parkinson's, you know what I mean? But then
Yeah.
also losing your mind too. Like,
Yeah.
which I mean, with Alzheimer's, they do end up losing all of their functions anyway. You know what I mean? But the whole Parkinson's thing too, on top of it, that just seems awful.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Brandon says, bye, James Patterson. Get out of here. I would not mind if I could avoid drama. Okay. I never knew about this disorder, to be honest, but yes, I couldn't imagine going through that. It did remind me of my grandma who had Alzheimer's.
Mhm.
Um, the illness from the dad was very close to home for me and my situation, and how distressed people get
Mhm.
when they don't remember things.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think it was really great description of what Lewy body dementia. Yeah, I 100% agree. So,
Yeah.
okay. Olivia feels her family's past and secrets are harmful to her, that she hides them from everyone, including her closest partner. Do you think she's right to do so?
I feel like for most everybody, like it's nobody's business who she is, and if she wants to hide that from somebody, like she totally can until she like feels comfortable with them. As far as her boyfriend, were they married? Did they get married?
I
Were they
think
husband?
no, I think they were
Like
just
I
partners
don't
as
know,
well as each other.
but he very like. And there's another question later that goes into it too. But like he said, no lies, no secrets, whatever, up front, and so like I understand not telling someone that, but then once you get into like a more serious relationship, that's probably a conversation you should
Yeah,
have. You know what I mean? Until dumping it on him like so however long later, you know what I mean? I feel
yeah,
like. But I mean, as far as anybody else, like I mean, I can't say that I would want people to know
yeah.
if somebody in my family was accused of murdering their whole family, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
but yeah.
especially like there was, mentions where like she was a small child and people were like, I know what your dad did and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So like I also wouldn't want that to be very public about me either. But
Right.
like also if I started dating someone, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I know it's our first date and you're totally into this art.
Right.
Let me tell you about what my father may or may not
Right.
have done. Like,
Yeah.
no.
Give it a little while, but then yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have maybe told him once she got further in,
Right.
or maybe not say like, oh, like didn't she tell him like that her mother was dead?
Yeah.
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 Like
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't dig a deeper hole than
Right.
needed.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
sorry, get a little chilly.
Yeah. I mean, or she could have even just said, like, I got some family drama stuff. I'll tell you one of these. You know what I mean? Like, I don't intentionally want to keep secrets from you, but like,
I'll
I'm
tell you when
not
I'm
ready to talk about it. Yeah. That way it could be in the back of his mind that, oh, someday she's going to pop something on me.
Brandon says, I don't think she was right in hiding it from him, but I understand why she did it. Lena says, I think family stuff can be embarrassing. I understand not wanting to air out your dirty laundry and being worried about being judged, excuse me, but maybe be more
Elusive than just about.
elusive
Yeah.
than, okay, yeah.
For
Um,
sure.
I understand the fear, but if you don't make yourself vulnerable, it will cause you harm. Yep.
Yeah.
Although maybe it was a bad first date to tell you. Yep, I
Yeah.
literally said
Be
that.
like, so by the way,
So thanks for paying for my dinner. Did I tell you that my father murdered my uncle and aunt? And
maybe
it's
did.
like
Maybe did.
maybe. Is
Yeah.
that a deal breaker?
That's so funny.
Oh, let's see. What did you think of Olivia and Tom's relationship prior to him finding out?
Honestly, I really didn't even care. Like
Yeah,
there was nothing leading up to like show any kind of a relationship with anything. Like literally she was like, I'm gonna go do this, and he's like, okay, and then she goes. Like I didn't care about it. you know.
what an icebreaker. Yep, agreed. For the
Yeah.
first date. Yeah, I feel like even though like we're like she talked about like, oh, like I'm keeping things from Tom, or he's telling me that he feels like something's different, I really didn't know that much about Tom to
Or
like
the relationship. Yeah. Like to feel bad about it. Yeah.
like what made this guy stand out besides that he wants honesty. That's the only
Yeah.
thing I could tell you about the guy.
Right.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
well, like, I mean, it's kind of a short book. I mean, I kind of feel like she could have put like maybe an extra chapter of like
Yeah.
like just dive deeper. But
Yeah.
okay, okay, halfway through the book, whom did you suspect who did the killing? Did you ever believe Vincent could or could not have done it?
So I did think he could have done it at some point. So I thought that Danny killed Poppy, but I thought it was maybe like an accident. Like, how he was trying to keep her from,
Mhm.
he was wanting to take from her or whatever. So I was thinking maybe he accidentally killed her and then
Mhm.
Vincent came in and then he killed him because he thought he killed her. That's what I thought happened.
Yeah. I also okay. I don't think he did it. And I thought this book was going to make it sound like he was like almost like he was so guilty, but somehow got away with it type of thing. I thought that's where this book was going.
Yeah. I
Like,
didn't feel like it was going to be intentional killings. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
yeah,
it was going to be they had a struggle, something happened, and then Vincent came in, saw that, and was like, and then they like had a scuffle, and then he accidentally killed him. And then he was like, oh crap, what do I do?
yeah.
And then he left.
I also had a feeling I was like, I don't think he did it. And I think this whole book is going to paint this picture that
Mhm.
he didn't do it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Supposed to think he did, but he really didn't. And then at the very end, it was going to be like a cliffhanger that he really did
We
it.
did. Yeah.
But there was two specific people that was just like, I bet you,
Yeah.
bet you, and I was right about one of them. So,
Yeah.
which we'll get into later.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will say though, I only thought it was one person, whereas
Yeah.
you thought it was
Uh-huh.
possibly
Yeah.
two, like
Uh-huh.
reaction type of thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Brady said, honestly, I have no clue who did what. Helen says I kept changing my mind on who did it. Yeah. There was one person that just kept standing out to me. I was like, I don't think you want me to think this, but I think it.
Right.
Okay. Poppy claims that film doesn't lie like memories do. Is this true? Are there more accuracies in film, or can film be as misleading as misleading as memories?
So I feel like for that timeline,
Mhm.
like the past timeline, I think the film would be like sufficient and would tell more of a truth than their memories. You know what I mean? But like nowadays, I don't trust that because you literally can't trust anything that you see on because of AI. Everybody's changing stuff. You don't know what's real, what's not real. So like in present time, I
Mhm.
don't know. I think memories are going to be better than actually like seeing stuff on film because people are always changing things. But for that timeline, I think those home videotapes, man, those are real. You know what I mean? Like that's going to give them more than what people are have memories of because my memories stink, y'all.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I think, like you said, back in the day, but because like anything could be altered, or like I think the other thing is like you catch something on camera and you turn it off, and then like after the film stops, like you realize maybe that isn't what happened in a way, but
right,
you don't have that evidence anymore.
right,
But also, without like telling specifically what I do for a job, um, like we're told in certain situations, like if something happens, you don't talk to anyone, because if you start talking, your perception or your memory can quickly change. And
right. Because of what somebody is talking to you about it. Like
yeah,
someone
you're
says,
like,
"This is
oh, I
what
saw
happened."
this, and you're like, oh wait, maybe did I see that?
You
So
start
like
second guessing yourself. Yeah.
over time, short timelines, like
Hmm.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Helen says, I think it can be because people can see different things. For example, when Olivia and her dad watched the bonfire.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Danny, Vincent, and Poppy have a complex sibling relationship. How would you describe the relationship? And do you think birth order matters in things?
I think it was a toxic relationship.
Yeah.
I think they're like, especially between the brothers. And obviously, we know that there's stuff that was causing, one of the brothers to act a certain way. But um, I don't know. I feel like I don't necessarily know that order of siblings matters more so than like personalities and things that you connect with. You know what I mean? Like you could have an older sibling and a younger sibling that have more of a connection and get along better. And then that middle sibling is just kind of like, or the middle and the younger because they're closer in age or like, so I don't know that it necessarily, you know, matters about the order of them. I think it's just more like their ages and their the things they have in common and like connections and stuff.
Um, like you said, toxic, like
Mhm.
it's kind of weird because like I feel like in the beginning of the book it's like, oh, like they loved each other, but obviously you learn
Yeah.
a lot more.
Yeah.
As far as like birth order, I feel like there's like like you're the oldest, so you should know better, and then
Right. You should be more responsible. Or,
baby, or she's the only daughter compared to two sons type of thing. So
yeah.
like I it shouldn't matter,
Hmm. Yeah.
but I feel like families and like generations kind of make it matter in a way. Like
Yeah.
I'm the middle daughter of
Hmm.
three daughters, and I have a sister that's 10 years older than me. I have one that's 6 years younger than me, and like very different relationships between all of them. Like my younger sister, I'm more close to, but we absolutely hated each other growing up.
Yeah.
Like my older sister and I, like we don't really talk, and like she's very much different than me.
Yeah.
So yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. The dynamics.
Yeah. Brandon says I definitely they definitely had a lot of drama. I think Poppy kind of got caught in the middle of a lot of it though. Yeah, I
Hmm.
feel like kind of inserted herself into a lot.
Yeah. Well, and
For a rumor.
I think she caught things that she shouldn't have caught. So then she was put herself in having secrets that she probably didn't want to have. And, she was kind of caught.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Vince and Danny were definitely the worst. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. What do you think of Tom's reaction to Olivia's confession? Do you think he overreacted, or were his expectations clear from the beginning?
I don't I don't know that he necessarily overreacted. Like anybody's going to be like he made it clear that he did not want to be with somebody who was going to keep secrets or lie or whatever. And then when he found out that's literally what she did, of course he's mad about it. I mean, obviously he does, come around to let her explain things later, but like everyone's initial reaction might be overreacting to things, but like I don't think he's not valid in it, you know what I mean? Because he had his intentions out there from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she should have like opened up about that before leaving.
Right.
Obviously, that doesn't add any drama to the story like the readers want,
Right. Right. Yeah.
but like also like his expectations being cleared, like yeah, it tells you that, but like I also don't know anything about Tom to know why
Right.
he's so adamant. Like
Right. Yeah. What's the reasoning behind that? Obviously, he's either been hurt or something. Something happened.
I think it mentions like he was married before, maybe, but like I don't
I
remember.
glazed over that because it didn't seem important. If we got that, I didn't.
I mean, maybe I could, yeah, but
Yeah.
Tom who? Brandon says sibling dynamics can be so complicated sometimes. I think he was justified, but I'm glad the two of them worked it out in the end. Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, not that I'm rooting for them because I don't know him.
Right.
So.
Right. We don't care.
Okay.
Funny.
This was a question sent on Discord. What did you think of the treasure hunts throughout the story? Did you like them, dislike them? Have you read anything else with other treasure hunts or Easter eggs type of thing?
So honestly, I wasn't even catching on to the fact that he was
I wouldn't
he
even.
was putting that it was
Oh,
a big treasure hunt. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, obviously toward I was like, oh, then when it was talking about him doing that with his sister,
yeah.
him always doing the treasure hunts with her, and then the thing with his daughter, I was like, oh, because it didn't really go too in depth with because they weren't together. Like her and her dad weren't together that long, so it's like, you know what I mean. So they talked about it a little bit, but like I wasn't putting it together that what he's basically handing her a manuscript saying,
It kind of felt like a missed
go find that.
opportunity if that was important,
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I
like,
didn't really get
oh, was I supposed to be paying attention to that?
right. I mean, but obviously, if I'm thinking about one series in mind with treasure hunts and like Easter eggs and stuff, is the Inheritance games because it's
Yeah.
literally like games and clues and everything. That's the only thing I get to get. But like, I didn't pick up on this.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't pick up on it.
Yeah. I've read the Inheritance game, so I can, or just the first book, but I can like, validate that as a good recommendation on that. But like, as far as like other things, I mean,
Yeah.
I've read so many thrillers, and so there are things you're like, oh yeah, I should have been paying attention to that, but like, not
Yeah.
really. But I
Yeah.
mean, if anyone else has anything with treasure hunts, I'd love
Let,
to know because
let us know.
I would prefer them to be a little more clear that I'm supposed to be looking for stuff if you have those.
Yeah.
Brings us the treasure hunts kind of went over my head. The hamster treasure hunt is still stuck in my head.
Yeah. That was awful. I was like, oh dang. I was like,
Yeah.
the hamster's dead.
I felt like that could have been developed a little bit more to where like I caught on more.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jules, what happened? Like, spoil away.
So Olivia gets all the videotapes and the journals, and she's basically piecing everything together. And it is determined that, there's another question that will lead up to that. But basically, Poppy gets killed. We know we hear from Poppy's POV as she's dying, that she is killed by the teacher across the street that lives across the street from them, because she found out a secret about the inappropriate things that was happened with him and some of his students and her brother. So basically, the teacher killed Poppy and left. Danny walks in and finds Poppy, not dead. She's not dead yet, but has been attacked. Then Vincent comes in and thinks that Danny killed Poppy. So then they start fighting. Vincent is unconscious. And then he wakes up and Danny's dead. And then we find out that Lydia, who was Vince's girlfriend, killed Danny and then left. I was like, first of all, why would she leave? So why would she not check that Vince? Because she thought that Danny killed Vincent and Poppy. So then she killed Danny. I was like, and then Vincent wakes up and he rushes out of the house because he thinks he killed his brother without knowing. And then finds Lydia in the woods. And then she's like, oh, I thought, basically says that she killed Danny. So then they go to the teacher. Basically, he gives them an alibi, which why wouldn't he? Because he literally killed Poppy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But did he really? So we don't really get that.
Yeah.
I mean, but that's what happened.
Yeah. That's exactly what I got. But for some reason, I was like, something's just not off. But with it being told in Poppy's perspective, I think that's the next question. Well, actually, we'll just skip to this other question. Considering that the reader only gleans the whole truth of the murders at the end, were you satisfied with how much knowledge Olivia and Vincent are able to gather?
So for me, like, the only thing that Vincent found out was that his brother was being abused by the teacher. Yeah. Like, he didn't know that. So they both learned that. But so then he, feels bad about that. But he doesn't know that Danny still didn't kill Poppy because Poppy had the proof that there was an incident between the teacher and Danny, and that's what he was looking for. So he very well could have killed his sister to hide the secret so that it wouldn't come out, because that would be embarrassing. You know what I mean? So he still, technically, nobody knows that the teacher killed Poppy except us. So that I don't feel like there's closure for them, because the only thing they learned is that Vincent didn't kill anybody, that Lydia did, and that everybody's hiding her secret.
Yeah. It's almost like, I don't know, it's kind of like almost realistic, because like, granted, they're writing a book, but like, we're still only getting one perspective of like what really happened. So even if he did, like, you just kind of have to go based on the word.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, but I also feel like that was kind of a cool choice to like only have it like, what happened, but like, not everyone's gonna like.
Oh, and then also through the whole thing, since we're talking about Poppy and the thing, who did you guys think the baby was that she had the abortion for? Because I was thinking,
I mean,
I thought it was the teachers because he helped her, but come to find out it was Danny's, which I don't know that I loved that being in there. Like, the fact that Vincent was still with her. No, but when did he find that out? Did he find that out? That Danny did that to her? I think he did. Eventually. Yes, because it was written in Poppy. I think somewhere in Poppy's journals it was written. So I don't think Vincent knew that until later, like present time, like as an adult. I don't think he realized that. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Honestly.
I thought it was the teacher, because like, obviously the teacher's having like inappropriate relationships with like his students.
And he was, but not girls.
True. Girls. I mean, I still think it was the teacher. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, even though the signs were just there, so like, if there was something going on between them two, like.
Well, I mean, it seemed like it because she was doing all the going over to his house a lot and doing the like running or whatever. But it said at that party, that party that they went to, that Vincent didn't go to, that Danny did assault her, and that pregnancy was the result of that. Yeah.
Again, we'll never know the truth.
Yeah, man.
Let's see. Gwen says Something Wilder by Christina Lauren. That's a good recommendation for the treasure hunts. The Hamster Never Stood a Chance. PSA Hickey by Lauren Connolly is a good one for treasure hunts. Good story with a mix of romance and preceding grief. Nice.
Yeah.
Also thought that it was The Teacher, but my second guess was Danny. It's got to be one of them. So, because I think even in Vincent's flashbacks, I think we would throw him in the mix if we kind of knew they were like that, but they weren't. So, okay, so I think we kind of went over like the twists and things like that. So scrolling down, did you think there were any? Well, we kind of mentioned unanswered questions or plot holes, like obviously whose child it was, what really happened. Is there any other unanswered questions that you have?
Yeah, like how does everyone feel about Alma? And why do I feel like she you know what I mean? Like she was very sus, the lady. I didn't like her.
Yeah, she was very sus.
And then nothing came of her. I was like, who is she? I mean, I know
have a theory that she grew up with Vincent.
Yeah.
And she was like somehow she was connected to either Poppy or to Danny, and that she was taking care of him and kind of making him lose his mind, like maybe drugging him in a certain way. So I was thinking like this was like a revenge type of thing, but like again,
and then nothing came of her. Yeah. I was like, I didn't like her.
I thought it was very interesting, the whole the other author that was suing her for all that money.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay. That has nothing to do.
Yeah, that was I felt like that was kind of out of place too, like the whole like I mean, I guess it set it up to so that we know she's broke. She ain't got no money because she did this. So now she can't get work because she's been blasted for, her reputation. So I get that. But then having the whole like her getting access to the email, her dad's email and emailing and seeing things about him trying to
add like another.
I was like, what is this?
Suspect, I guess. I don't know.
I did have to chuckle when they were on that like FaceTime or whatever, and they were like talking about her, and she's like, "Just so you know, you're not on mute." I was like, "That's so funny," but you know what I mean. I don't know. It just kind of seemed out of place.
Brandon found out who Alma was, which was the caretaker. I thought she was definitely going to have. I did too. Again, I thought she was gonna.
Yeah, for as much as she just kept being like, "You shouldn't be. He shouldn't be doing this. You shouldn't be bothering him." Like she was trying to keep his secrets at bay. Like to stop the daughter from finding out stuff, and then turns out
she's a caretaker.
Right.
Okay, what is your final star rating? Anyone else, if you haven't already, let us know your final star rating.
I think I'm at 3.5. I think I'm at 3.5 because it was okay. It was enjoyable, but like there was a lot of kind of just plot hole stuff that I just kind of was like, I really enjoyed the flashback chapters. Like I loved finding the journals and reading the journals and the videos and like the dynamic of the siblings, like in past tense. Loved that. If I had more of that and less of just kind of the random stuff at current time, like I don't know. I feel like it took a while to get to that. Like you said, a slow burn. I feel like it took us so long for her to just get to her dad's, and then him starting to read the manuscript and like I think it just took a little too long to get me to the finding out the stuff, because like once we found the journals and the cameras and all that, like it was a good time. So I think that's probably the only reason I didn't give it a
so for the longest time I was like, I'm getting like a good strong 4-star feeling, but then like towards the end I was like kind of losing steam a little bit. It was still that slow burn. So like I think 3.5. I don't do half-star ratings, but I don't think it's a 4. But I do think it's a high 3. So I would say 3.5, but I'm going to have to give it a 3.
I did 3 on Goodreads. But definitely.
But I mean, it's definitely a book like if someone's looking for something specific, like I got you. would recommend.
Yeah. Right.
Hey Jan, I'm late. I gave this book 3 stars because it was so predictable, but it was quick. It was quick.
It is true.
I described it as a watered down version of The Only One Left. That's actually a
Okay.
really good comparison.
Yeah.
Brandon's giving his at 4, had a good time. Gwen gave it 2 stars, which I kind of had a feeling that's what her rating was going to be.
Yeah.
But speaking of The Only One Left, do you have any book recommendations based on this? I would definitely say The Only One Left. I can't believe I didn't think about that one.
Yeah, I couldn't think of any off the top of my head. I was thinking today and I was like, oh, dang. But that's a good one, Jan. That's a good one.
I would say Home is Where the Bodies Are by Geneva Rose.
Okay.
That's about something
Valid.
happened in the past. Siblings
Siblings.
very well alive.
Yeah.
But they go back and they
That's
find
great.
like tapes and things like that. So it's kind of like tying more into like what Poppy said.
Yeah.
So I would say that. There's also The Ghostwriter by K.A. Tucker. Very different, but if you like the whole ghostwriting concept, I would say that. I would also say Verity, but that's way different than this book.
Yeah.
Also, if you want to talk about like father-daughter relationships, I would say The Last One at the Wedding, or The Last Guest at the Wedding by Jason Rukulak.
Oh, yeah. We just read that recently. Yeah. Is it the last guest or the last one?
It's
The last guest.
The Last One at the Wedding.
Something. The last guest.
Oh God.
We don't know. It's something at the wedding. The last something.
Something at the wedding. And
I'm trying to figure out where mine's at. I was like, where's mine at?
Wait, it's The Last One at the Wedding. Yes. Okay. Yeah, those would be my recommendations. Did you have any or couldn't think of any?
I couldn't think of any.
Gotcha.
Not that I've read or off the top. I would have had to like research it and I didn't have time. I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's probably something I read, but like not off the top of my head that I can think of.
Yeah. Jan said the short chapters made it feel quick, I should say. Yes, I will say short chapters definitely. And Brandon's confirming the last one.
Yes. Last one.
Thank you. Any other thoughts or opinions before we end for the night?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Alma was my only thing I was questioning. At least everybody else is on the same page about her. So.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for popping in to be the co-host. I would say on short notice, but like you had like almost a month.
Yeah. So. Yeah.
So, but yeah.
I was going to read it anyway. So.
True. But hopefully everyone enjoyed this one. If you haven't already, leave your final star rating over at Discord. The link is down below. Make sure you go subscribe to Jules. Her channel is linked as well. Next month, we do not have a book discussion. We have Survive the Night Readathon, which I'm super excited.
Yeah.
Give like a 60-second summary. Basically, you have 10 reading prompts. They're all tied into locations at a summer camp on a map. It's a 5-day readathon, September 12th through the 16th. Each day, a summer camp killer will arrive at one of the locations. If you are checked into that location, you're dead. Or if you didn't check in to a location at all, you're also dead. So it's basically surviving summer camp. That Discord and all that information is also linked down below. We are so excited. I have so many plans.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
Do not miss it.
Friends, game night, movie night, and nature
last year. Yeah.
It's going to be great. So thank you guys all for being here. Make sure you subscribe, thumbs up, go check out Jules, check out all the Discords, and we will see you guys all